Okay, great. There we go. Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with CLIPA number 4. We're here with Paul Hayden from Reinders. I'm Stacy Aguirre, Director of Sales and Marketing here at CLIPA, the Christmas Light Installation Pros Association. I'm here in Southern California where it's beautiful weather on this Friday morning, 11 a.m. I think it's what, 75, 80 degrees outside today. Perfect weather. And it's my birthday. See this balloon? This means I'm old now. Today's my birthday. Thank you for all the gifts. And Paul, go ahead and tell me a little about you. Where are you at? What's happening today? What you doing?
What's happening today? Well, you know,
it's Friday.
It is a balmy 39 degrees here and everybody is very ecstatic. That's about 45 degrees warmer than it's been for the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, thanks.
Yeah, you get used to it. We don't have 100-degree heat and we don't have a lot of animals that try to kill us. So it's better than most tropical regions.
Whenever I walk the trail behind my house, there's signs that say mountain lion territory and rattlesnakes. And every time I go, I think one of these days I just might be their lunch.
Because mountain lions don't eat kale.
They don't eat chicky nuggies either.
No chicky
kale
nuggies.
Or regular. or cauliflower crust pizza. That does not happen in the mountain lion region, as far as I know. If anyone's following our posts on our CLIPA Pro Tips forum, you'll understand what we're talking about. There's lots of talk about pizza and chicky nuggies. So
I very rarely stay on topic.
What are we talking about today, Paul? You tell us. The Muppet is one thing. I mean, that's one thing I have to talk about right away.
My what not Muppet?
What does it do?
It's a Muppet.
Can you talk?
Well, it's a typical little puppet.
Can we interview him? What's his name?
I don't know. It doesn't have one. He's just, I keep threatening to do like tech support calls and stuff with him, but Michelle threatened me with bodily harm. So
can we name him Paul?
Although I did wake up the kids one morning with him, just kept slapping them in the head until they woke up. They were not happy.
Oh my!
I thought it was hilarious, but
it's so cute. I love it.
But yeah, that was from FAO Schwartz a few years ago. They had the build your own Muppet thing where you could just like pick his hair and shirts and colors and shapes of heads and all sorts of stuff. So he's technically got his little Muppet tag in the bottom.
I like it. I love it actually. That Hawaiian shirt. He's perfect. It's Paul.
Yes, very much so. I sadly have a matching shirt. So
you should have been wearing that today.
Yeah.
Great. So okay. Yeah. Well, we do have a topic. We're going to talk about lighting. We talk about LED lights, RGB lights, because we are in this Christmas industry. And if you want to talk a little bit about Reinders, Reinders is a CLIPA buyers group preferred vendor, which means anyone who's part of our CLIPA buyers group gets a discount on Reinders products, as well as anybody who's part of a CLIPA membership or has taken our training also gets access to Paul and all of his wonderful knowledge. 24-hour access. I heard like you're available all the time.
Yeah, that's definitely what some people think. We do. Yeah, Reinders has been doing lighting for I think 12 or 13 seasons now. Prior to that, our company has been mostly landscape supply, salt removal, or salt and snow removal, other stuff you don't have to deal with. But we're one of the larger Morton salt distributors in this corner of the world, in addition to all the regular landscape supply stuff, landscape lighting. And then the holiday lighting division was sort of born out of the desire to keep our landscape lighting clients busy in that gap between summer and blowing out irrigation systems and winter snow removal. So it was kind of a logical extension of what we were already doing. It started with one of the people with the name on the building bringing in part of a container of incandescent Christmas lights, and it's just gone crazy from there. So now there's 5 of us in the department. This is all we do full time, 24 hours a day. No, but full time, that's pretty much all we do is holiday lighting stuff.
Well, the question always comes up for me. It's like, oh, you do holiday lights? What do you do the rest of the year?
Yeah.
I love that question.
I absolutely hate that question. and usually I find out what they do for a living and make fun of them instead. But
Perfect.
of course, there's a little bit of downtime, like a week and a half here and there, but
10 days.
Yeah, it's definitely crazier than people realize because they don't understand the ordering cycle and the fact that, we've already got our 2021 orders into our manufacturers already. And, we got about 2-3 months and we're going to start seeing material rolling in. So there really isn't a whole lot of downtime. We also do a lot of training in downtime, especially RGB stuff. We've got 4 programs lined up where we go through everything RGB, all of the Minlian stuff, all of the Inception stuff, which is the permanent building perimeter system, and all of the Twinkly Pro stuff. So it's like a super intensive 2-day kind of thing. And we're doing 3 of those in Wisconsin here, and one of them is in Pennsylvania. So hopefully the East Coast people will not whine as much about not having anything in their area.
Yeah, well, the Inception lighting is a pretty interesting product. Everyone I know in the industry is asking about the permanent lighting. It's pretty a big deal this last year, especially since because everyone's at home, right? Everyone wants their houses to look great all year round because we're home. So that's been a big question mark. And the Twinkly Pro as well has been a big topic of discussion.
Yeah, so Twinkly, there's not a large number of new products coming from Twinkly this year, as much as there is kind of cleanup from the stuff that they promised last year that they didn't quite deliver on, mainly the content creation and the cloud based tool. But so hopefully they'll get their act together on that. That should be forthcoming. But there's some minor changes to the product line, but nothing too major. So there's gonna be a slight cost increase. So if anyone's on the fence on a project, you might want to get a quote on that sooner than later. But
yeah, that's what we've been saying right now. We need to know
yeah,
now.
I know
what you
it's
want.
hard to think about Christmas right now, but it'll
Yeah.
do your checkbook a lot of good if you can.
Well, can you believe Monday is March?
Yeah.
It's coming. I mean, it's here. Like, what do? Next thing you know, we'll be saying, hey, it's October. And then we'll be done. Hey, we have somebody knocking on our Zoom door right now. So let's see if this person wants to enter. It's a surprise visitor for you, Paul. See who's coming.
This is not going to be good.
Let's see. Where did he go? No, I don't see him. There we go. It's joining still. There we go. Matt, you're in here. You're live. We see you, but we don't see you. Turn your camera on. I think he just came in to like show his name on screen and not say anything. All right, well, we'll just keep talking with him here without his camera on. Hey, Matt, nice to see you. Matt Hayden, owner of CLIPA. Oh, wait, is he there? Matt, are you there? Okay, well, we'll just wait. There you go.
Hey, wait, I'm probably muted. I'm trying.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me okay?
We're trying to train him on Zoom. It's coming along pretty well, as you can tell.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, you can hear me. Chelsea's telling me you can't hear me, and yeah, you can hear me.
Good.
You're live.
Good. Sorry, I've been trying to log in. I'm currently doing a transfer from Dropbox to Google Drive. So all my files are transferring over, and it's like 8,000 files, and it's taking forever. So everything on my computer is moving a little bit slower these days, including myself.
Understandable.
Yeah. So welcome. Appreciate you coming in. I heard part of that stuff. I didn't know what was going on there. I think Stacy was asking you about products and stuff like that. Let me ask you, I don't know if she mentioned this or she asked this. This is one of the big questions right now is we're hearing the increase in copper is already hit. What can you tell everybody as far as purchasing product? And if you guys covered this, I apologize. If you did not, I just want to get your take on the increase in copper and what you can tell installers to be on the lookout for.
I think from our standpoint, we do have our pricing to a point where it's not going to change mid-season or anything.
Yeah.
I would expect that price list to be out next week, and we do expect it to be higher than last year.
Okay.
So if you're still on the fence about your pre-order, you might want to might want to get cracking. The other issue we're hearing about is a container shortage on the other side of the world. I guess when COVID started, all the containers were on their way this way, and they never got reloaded and sent back. So there's a little bit of some shipping issues that I can foresee being a problem eventually, especially with some of the later season stuff. I mean, we've gotten confirmations on most of our stuff, but not all of it. So I think that might be another monkey wrench that we weren't anticipating. But
yeah, do you foresee any delays? I mean, last year I know everybody was freaked out about delays and shipments and stuff like that. It seemed to work out for most vendors. I know there was some delays on a few containers, but do you see anything? And I'm surprised, like a lot of the vendors are ordering. I mean, they've already placed their orders. And I think there's concerns that, with all the shutdowns and stuff like that, that we are going to be delayed. And I think we had these concerns last year, and it worked out, just fine.
I don't know. I'm going to say it's probably a little too early to tell. I know we've got some stuff getting readied. I think that's going to leave on time. I think the later it goes through summer, I think the longer things are going to take.
Yeah, sure.
Especially when you start factoring in, labor and border issues and all that other stuff that can really fluctuate a container by, a month or more.
Yeah. Who's your little friend?
The Muppet?
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's just
you missed that conversation, Matt.
Oh, did I miss that?
We were playing with him earlier. Yeah.
Well, if you play with again, let's keep that off screen. Anyway, I just wanted to pop in, say hi. And it took me a little while to get in, but appreciate everything you guys do over there. And I'm going to let Stacy, the birthday girl, I'm going to let her continue on it. Happy birthday. I think, 24, 25, somewhere in there, Stacy?
29 every year.
29.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Remember those days. Paul, I remember those days?
Indeed.
All right. Well, appreciate it, Paul, and I'll let you guys get back at it. I tried to get a special guest to come in, and unfortunately, Mr. Vader was not available. I had him on there, and he was gonna do an interview with you, but unfortunately, that fell through the cracks. But maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
He was down in Cancun with Teddy, so he couldn't get on because Wi-Fi was pretty bad down there.
Understandable.
All right, Paul. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. Thank you.
See you down the hallway later. Yeah, we have Matt's office. It's at the end of the hallway, past the break room. He's just far.
Gotcha.
We moved offices this
let
year.
me just note that was by choice, Paul. That was by choice. I chose the further office from everybody, so don't make it seem like they threw me back here.
You were expelled to the corner.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm the dunce in the corner.
It happens.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, let me get him out of here. Remove. Okay. Whoops. Don't want to report anything. Okay, there we go. All right, great.
Not yet, anyway.
I know. I pushed remove and it asked me to report him on Zoom, so I don't really want to do that right now. Okay. Yeah. So what were we even talking about? We're talking about Inception lighting. We're talking about Twinkly Pro. We're talking about those things. So I guess out of those products, like what is your favorite product to work with, and why would you say that's important to you? I mean, because I know you see them all and you deal with them all hands-on. So
yeah, it's kind of hard to pick a favorite overall because they're very different in terms of their application. Mm-hmm. They're not, I mean, all three of those product lines are not really interchangeable. So they both kind of, or all three of them have their little niche that they really excel at. I mean, anytime you want the ease of the mapping crazy effects right away, the Twinkly Pro is awesome. If you want to do more of a music integration kind of thing, or, some of the other shapes and patterns, tunnels, that kind of thing, I still favor the Minlian product line. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, that's actually one of the 2021 products that we're having. We are building a tunnel kit. So everything will show up, the metal arches, the lights, the controllers, the extensions, the whole 9 yards. Programming, plug it in, turn it on, you're going to end up with crazy swirly tunnel stuff.
That's great. But we'll go to the music that I want it to go to. That's my question.
Well, you can do programmed animation to music. There's no magical thing that's going to modulate the lights to music as well as if it's pre-programmed.
I want a magical thing though, Paul. This is Christmas.
Yeah, whoever comes up with a magical thing is going to be a multi-millionaire, but I don't foresee it anytime soon.
Okay, but no, that's super exciting because not just your company, but other companies in our industry and in our buyers group are talking about the same thing, putting together the kits that are easy to install so that, because everyone did all drive-through projects last year, like all the drive-through events. I know locally, I went to 5 different drive-through events here in Southern California, and some were better than others, but this year, I think there'll be even more coming out. So we want to make sure that people have access to know how to set those up and in a way that makes sense. It's not reinventing it over and over again. That doesn't make sense to me. And I really want to be able to show our CLIPA members and our buyers, like, this is easy, do it this way, and this is how much it's going to cost. And then they can sell it to their clients. That's the most important thing, is the costing, right?
Yeah. There's always that balance in commercial world between wanting to do it cheaply and wanting to do it with being cognizant of the amount of labor time that you're going to have to spend on it. You can make it out of bent PVC and spend hours doing it, or you can take one of our metal frames, set it in there, and you're done. So, the material is going to cost you a little bit more, but you're going to spend a lot less time on site, and it's going to be something that's been, pre-engineered, so you don't have to worry about as much stuff. Setup and takedown is going to be a lot easier. I know a lot of the guys are using like greenhouse frames, and that works, but there's a lot of cross bracing, and that's not, it works, but that's not really what they're designed for. So our kit is solid metal arches all the way along, and then they go into a foot structure. So you can put sandbags on that foot structure, or the large nails if you feel like it. But we've been realizing a lot of these guys are doing stuff on concrete, drive-throughs to Chick-fil-A's and that kind of thing. So not pounding holes in concrete's usually a pretty good idea. So these will freestand, self-support. They're in chunks, so they'll freestand, not a lot of cross bracing stuff. Very, very simple and easy to set up.
So what's the standard sizes then that they would come in? Do you have that figured out yet, or do we know what it looks like?
So it's going to be 12 arches spanning 24 total feet.
Okay.
And if you need more than that, you just buy a second one. And then we'll adjust the programming a little bit, and you just connect them together, and it'll realize that's 48 instead of 24. I can show you a video of the prototype version we did if you're curious.
Yeah, let me see if you can share the screen here. Let me see. All participants, there you go. Now you can do it.
All right, I think I can. So this was one we actually did for a client last year. It was kind of a retrofit, but it was the basis of what we were trying to do.
Cool.
This is actually a 1 foot spacing because these guys wanted it super high resolution. The production version is going to be 2 feet between. So it'll be a little bit different, but you'll still get some pretty decent, crazy patterns and stuff out of it.
Wow, that's so cool.
And this whole thing, it took us a little while to zip tie the lights to the frame, being the first year. But once you get past that, it should take you maybe a half hour to set this whole tunnel up.
Wow. So these arches come in, they're one piece arches. Then you said there's.
No, they're 3-piece.
Okay. So you can ship them easily. So I say to ship it like that, not going to work.
Correct.
So they break down to 3 pieces. Okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah, they'll side load as a on shipping fairly easily.
And so this is just a walkthrough tunnel then, right?
Well, this one was used as a walkthrough. Technically, size-wise, you're good for like a single lane of traffic, as long as you're not trying to bring buses and stuff in there.
Yeah.
If you need buses, then what we do is we give you an extension that raises the whole thing up a little bit so that you're not adding to your light costs, but it elevates it off the ground in case you've got certain restrictions on heights and streets.
Cool.
We're working on one right now that goes through like a fireman's park or something, and they're like, we need it like this tall. So we're dealing with that right now. So it's fairly easy to do a custom length at this point. Once we get closer to in-season time, being able to do custom lengths is going to be a lot harder. But so. But yeah, we got some decent tunnel based effects in here. These aren't the canned ones that come in the NECs. These are designed a little bit more around this shape.
So the bulbs are attached going up and over each arch then?
Yes.
Okay.
And we do that just because of the setup and takedown. To be able to walk an arch over there and set it in the feet, zip tie those last couple of bulbs in there, and then work your way all the way down the thing takes a lot less time the second, third, fourth year you set it up. Or if you need to move it. Like we had these guys, they had it here for Christmas and they wanted it in a different place for their like New Year's Eve thing. So they just picked up these chunks and walked them over there and put it back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So again, it's really designed to be quick setup and takedown. You could go the lengthwise with the strings, but then you got to zip tie all the lights and put guy wires in there every single time you put it up. And your labor costs.
You can't move anything.
Yeah.
You couldn't even move it if you wanted to. That makes sense.
Correct. And you can always come back and, if the density isn't good enough for you, the next year we can always just add arches in between there and get you a different pair of feet too. So, I mean, you can really kind of customize it the way you want, but it's still, we're still trying to be able to provide as much of a cookie cutter, one size fits most kind of deal.
And that's with 2-foot sections, like you said, right?
Yeah. Each arch will be 2 feet apart.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there's 3 arches to a physical section, just in case you've got to like bend it to come around a corner or, your path isn't exactly straight. There's a little bit of a fudge factor in there.
Nice.
Yeah. So all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah. It's so cool. I love that.
And the other thing I love about this tunnel, the bulbs that we're using, they're round and they protrude a little past the sides. So even when you're outside the tunnel coming up on it, you can still see the outside of it.
That looks super neat.
Yeah. So you kind of get, 2 displays for the cost of 1. I mean, you can see it when you're coming up on the side of it, as well as looking down.
When you're going through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all the same. That's neat.
Yeah. So we're kind of excited about being able to offer that. Yeah, it's on their side view.
Yeah, so cool. So when are you going to have those packets ready? Do you know the packets? What are you really calling them?
Yeah.
What are you going to name them? It's the kits. I don't know.
Yeah. We've just been calling them tunnel packages at our place, but we have our final production prototype version in production right now.
Okay.
That stupid storm the last couple of weeks and the crazy temperatures really kind of messed us up because the powder coater is significantly further south of here and they couldn't keep their ovens at the right temperature. So they basically closed their doors and went home for 2 weeks. So they're a little bit behind, but we should have availability and pricing, within a few months here. Well, pricing should be pretty soon. We're shooting for around 5,000 for that 24-foot tunnel package. So give or take.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
Yeah.
That's of course assuming the cost of steel doesn't continue to skyrocket.
We'll have to see about that. Keep our fingers crossed, right? All right. So I know that during the season last year, you had a lot of questions come through from different people who were purchasing your product and different people who wanted help with different projects. So what would you say was one of the most common questions you'd get if there was a common one that people needed help with? Like, what did you see come over and over again?
People not being able to do the math on 15-inch spacing.
Yes, that's something in itself. We need like a calculator, just something that does it for us.
Yeah. Aside from that, like on the RGB side, you mean?
Any of it. Yeah, any of it.
Probably the largest question with the RGB stuff was either the permanent building solution stuff or how to do a basic RGB roof line. Those I probably got more than anything else. The people that were looking for the larger things were looking for tunnels, but those were kind of the more repetitive questions. And we had a lot of interest in the Twinkly Pro stuff too, because we're, one of 3 distributors for that, or 4 distributors for that. So we ended up with a lot of those kinds of things too, and a lot of crazy projects. People call them with like 16-foot tall metal giraffes and be like, we want twinkly on this. And of course,
Yeah.
I mean, you know me, I can't pass up the ridiculous projects. So
Of course not. That's what we're in the industry for.
Right. Yeah, a lot more unusual stuff like that. I mean, we had one guy do Twinkly Pro curtain on the entire backside of his house. It was doing all sorts of patterns and stuff on there. That was pretty impressive, but it's still kind of new for people. So explaining the mapping process and, how it can do all that kind of stuff was, multiple phone calls a day.
Sounds fun.
I'm pretty sure I can give the whole speech in my sleep. So yeah.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I've given the whole speech in my sleep.
Yeah, right. All the 24 hours. I mean, we said it here.
Pretty much.
So I know that you had made some really awesome like Bigfoot sets in the past, right?
Yes.
Those are pretty cool. But
that's our custom frame builder.
Yeah, your custom frame. What like would you like, what's innovative that maybe you'd like to build, that you'd like to see out there? Is there anything like that you're working on besides the tunnels, or anything that you see would be cool to add to the line, or picking your brain here?
Yeah, no, I like the kind of really weird custom frame design stuff. Like I said, we've got a frame builder, and he's gotten to be a good friend of mine over the last few years. And, I can call him and ask for just about anything. And once he stops laughing, he'll build it for me. I mean, we had him do like a 4-foot singing maple leaf for a Canadian client. We've had him do, it was supposed to be at Transworld last year, but a 10-foot alien saucer that was beaming up a cow, and the beam was done out of Twinkly Pro, so it was this kind of animated kind of thing. So I sort of, I like the weird stuff, but I also like trying to incorporate the RGB and the Twinkly Pro as.
Okay, wait, let me back up for a second. It was beaming up a cow. Is that what you said? Did I hear you right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of Transworld, are you guys going to be there this year? Are you planning on? Okay. Are you bringing the cow beaming thing with you?
No, because
now I'm disappointed.
So, we always talk about doing crazy stuff for our clients. The alien and cow ended up being part of the crazy things that we do for our clients. We had that made. It was supposed to be at Transworld. We had a bunch of other stuff made, and we get a call from one of our local guys that had an airport that wanted to do a drive-through display. They gave him a fair amount of money, but they gave him 2 weeks to do it, which is ridiculous. So these guys call us and they're like, what do you have? And of course, this is like after the season last year. And we're like, we got some stuff that didn't sell. We got some of this, we got some of that. And then they're like, great, we'll take it all. And then they're like, well, we need some wireframes. And I'm like, don't sell my alien. And they sold my alien.
Of course.
So, so that company has decided that is like the best thing ever. It was at the airport. It showed up in a couple of the other drive-throughs that they've done this year. I think right now it's hanging on the outside of their building. So yeah, I mean,
I'm very disappointed.
I lost my alien because we were helping out a client.
Well, I guess it's the way to go, right? If you got to lose it somehow to help some other client, to bring the joy of Christmas to the children around the world. That's what we're here to do.
Exactly. And small green
alien Christmas.
Stealing cattle.
Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah, that brings joy.
I thought so. There is a video of it around. I can see if I can find it quick, but
so we will be at Transworld this year. So if anyone's listening, you haven't, and you don't know what Transworld is, do you want to give a little quick talk about it? You were there 2 years ago, right? Paul?
Yes. It is quickly becoming what I would say is the best trade show for Christmas professionals. There is another trade show out there, Christmas Expo, that's geared a little bit more towards the hobbyist side of the world.
Mm-hmm. The residential.
But yeah, the Transworld is about the only place where you're gonna be able to walk in and see like every vendor that you've ever heard of all in one room, all with crazy displays. And I mean, last time they had like 20-30 foot tall Christmas trees in the middle of this thing, and they brought in the one guy across from us had like giant walk through pumpkins and all sorts of stuff. So and then I think you guys have a bunch of training classes and everything else going on. So it is definitely the one-stop professional Christmas show, at least on this half of the world.
Yeah, so it's happening in May, and we're CLIPA conference is happening the day before I think it's Cinco de Mayo, the May 5th and 6th is our CLIPA conference, which is our annual event where CLIPA members and people who are interested in our Christmas Light Installation Pros Association can come and get some more advanced classes. I think we're going to drag you in there to talk some little section during our class, but we have a lot of our preferred vendors and then other people not part of our buyers group, but other people who are in our industry or marketing and keeping and things like that. We're going to have them come and talk during the CLIPA conference. And then after that conference is trade show, which happens that Thursday through Sunday. And we're going to have a booth there like you will. And I think that there's 40 plus Christmas vendors in one little area there, but there's like over 200 Halloween vendors across the way from what I know. Right.
Yeah, it's huge. And we were kind of curious to see that. I mean, they've only had the one show that we were all at. And I mean, for being a first year show, it was amazing. And we were kind of surprised how many of the Halloween people like ventured over into Christmas world with the possibility that, you know, they ran like a, you know, haunted hayride or something. And they're like, well, you know, let's put all the knives and chainsaws away and get out happy little reindeer and flip it over to Christmas. So we ran into a lot of those people, which we weren't expecting. And then a lot of the typical, you know, full on Christmas types, a lot of event places, you know, a lot of larger displays, you know, you kind of watch the name tags rolling around. It's a lot of zoos and theme parks and all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, it was definitely the who's who of Christmas.
Exactly. And well, it's a great price too. I think right now it's $70 for the ticket for the entire, all those days to get your ticket in. So if anyone hasn't signed up yet, definitely get signed up, and there's hotel rooms available on the website still and all that.
Fantastic barbecue place like a block away.
I don't know about that. Do they have like great mac and cheese? Cause that's
Actually they do.
Yeah. Mac and cheese is like my jam.
They have a good key lime pie too.
Oh, God, that's like my favorite pie. Key lime is like my favorite pie. Yeah. So anyway, enough about the food.
Right, well,
here's stuck on that for like 20 minutes. We can talk about pie.
We were talking about the Sasquatches. Those are my custom made Sasquatch families.
Yeah. My mom loved that. She's like addicted to the Sasquatch guy. There's like a guy on Facebook that interviews people about Sasquatches. I don't know if you know this guy. Anyway, my mom's addicted. She sends me videos every week of this guy's Sasquatch talk. Just saying.
That's great.
It's a family thing for me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Thought I could find that video quick for the cow and alien.
Well, if you find it, we'll put it up there. Let's see. So Trans World, you're going to be there. We're going to be there. A bunch of other Christmas vendors are going to be there. CLIPA conference will be there. So definitely sign up if you're not signed up already. If you're a CLIPA member, we're coming to training. Talk to your rep. Either you can talk to me or Chelsea, Christy, or Courtney here in our office. We can help you figure out how that works with your membership or with your training, and if what's included, what's not. That's kind of like everything's priced differently depending on what level membership you are and things like that. So I think you found the video.
That's the cow.
There's the cow. So cute. Oh my gosh.
That was actually large enough to drive a truck under. There you go.
Oh, it's like, there it is. That is so awesome.
Yeah. So it was a 10-foot saucer, and then the beam was animated.
I love that.
Alien and the like Men in Black snowman guy there.
Super cute.
Which, you know, all of that goofy stuff is on our Facebook page too, if you are really a glutton for punishment.
Yeah. So for our CLIPA members, everything that we just saw, I know you have a website available. Do you want to give us just how they can find you, how they can get a hold of you? What's the best way?
Well, we do have your
cell phone number. Just kidding.
Yeah, no. I've already given that out too many times this week, Joe. Well, we do definitely have the Facebook page. We have our corporate office. There's a direct line to the holiday lighting department, so that you don't get lost with fertilizer and salt and whatever else the other guys have. Our Facebook page, you can message us through there. Any of the other ways we pay attention, we've got a departmental email address. But I typically handle the RGB stuff. So a lot of times if you send me like regular bulb questions, I send it to Wayne and Rochelle or Brandon, and they deal with that part of it. I just got stuck being more of the social media person because, Wayne just recently upgraded his phone to something that was made this decade. So, and we're trying to get him to trade in the Abacus that he's got on his desk for an actual calculator. So
2004 was a long time ago. That's all I'm saying. Long time.
Apparently the guy that got my phone number this week that I'm making fun of just a minute ago is threatening to post it in the comments now. Anyway,
that's amazing.
We try to do everything in our little corner of the world with a sense of humor. And we get to know our clients pretty well, and we give them about as much of a hard time as they give us, but it's all in good fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And what is your 15-second elevator pitch about you and your business?
I always hate these. This is what happens when you stick an engineer in front of people. From my standpoint, we're above average when it comes to making sure your RGB projects work the way they're supposed to. I have a vested interest in making sure that happens. So in no way, shape, or form is it like, here's your pile of materials, you go figure it out. We're with you pretty much every step of the way, from the design aspect to the build, to the maintenance, whatever it needs to be done. All that kind of stuff, warranty, whatever it ends up being. So it's not just here's your stuff and forget it. And we go over that a lot in the classes and presentations we do too. We don't need you to know everything about the product. We just need you to be able to talk intelligently to your clients and, get them to understand what's possible. And then you can turn around and call me and be like, how do we really make this happen? And, we'll go through everything and that kind of stuff, but we're not going to leave you hanging.
Great. Thank you so much. That's awesome. And my last question I ask everybody who comes on my show, what was your nickname growing up? I know you had one.
I actually really didn't. Most of the people just use my last name for everything, which is now horribly confusing in the office because that's also Wayne's dog's name. So when that thing comes in, I get that a lot. So I don't understand what's going on.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. That's wonderful. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you came on. Hopefully you guys got some value from that. And if anyone has any more questions for us, you know how to get a hold of Paul, get a hold of me, anybody here at our CLIPA office, happy to help you. And we'll see you soon. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Paul.
Sounds good. Yep. No problem.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.